Hold on. Did that sound like I'm turning a page?
Did you bring the comic down?
No, it's still upstairs. I'm a dirty bitch.
All right, that's enough.
Let's talk about Punisher.
The Punisher.
Number 8 by Jason Aaron, Jesus Saiz, and Paul Asaquita.
I hope we're pronouncing that right.
I really hope because
we're a bunch of fucks.
Tune into 93.5.
The fuck. That's our new radio station.
Inside
Pirate
joke.
radio.
Yeah, pirate radio. We can't afford the FCC.
We can't afford the FCC to fuck us up.
So the issue opened. My dog is fucking up the studio right now. The fuck studio. So it starts with Maria having a flashback in the park. And I love how they do this. Because first I hit puberty there. Me as a reader.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog.
No, yeah, go ahead.
It's very distracting. He's done now.
Maybe.
So Maria starts in the park, and as a reader, I'm thinking like, oh God, are we gonna have to relive this?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. It plays with your expectations because it cuts, and we go to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, we see the flashback of Frank and Maria going through couples therapy.
What is he doing?
All right, now that
thought we were gonna have a moment, but Jake broke that one in two.
So back to the Punisher.
Just
we start with Maria having the flashback in the park, and then she was telling that story during a couples therapy session, and she was talking about how like 1 minute Frank is a awesome husband, awesome father,
and the next he's just distant,
walled off, and doesn't talk to her for a while, and the only time he mentions or talks about anything is when the therapist talks about soldiers in war, and he says, I'm not a soldier, I'm a Marine. And Maria's like, that's the only response I get. And then it kind of cuts back to the present, and he's doing his daily killings. And then the handbrake in, and they're like, hey, Ares is coming. He knows how to get here. They're coming after us. And Frank just says, let them come. Like he's at this point of the story, Frank has truly bought in that he could defeat Ares now. Like he's fully like, I am the beast. I am the fist, whatever you want to call me. He believes this, you know. And there's this thing where I like where she says, what do we do? And Frank dismisses that and says, we? As in, like, I'm going to do this. You're going to go guard the beast or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was a nice power move, I think, by Frank. And then the people that he was going to kill, he takes his gear off.
Yeah, and he goes, give them. Yeah.
He throws all these swords down and says, like, let them come at me. And this is his demonstration to them, like, I am the beast. Like, he just beats the fuck out of these guys.
Like, he sees into their minds. Like, he's already knows, but what he says to them as he beats them. You gotta read that shit.
Yeah. He reads all the crimes that they committed about, like, you know, he was 14, you thought no one saw, they were always drugged, you thought no one remembered. So he's like talking about these horrible people, the horrible crimes.
As he kills them.
As he's killing them because he can see, and his eyes are glowing red because that's the sign of the beast, of like that's the gifts of the beast. And now the hype.
Like I'm not gonna lie. Most of the story, what he's doing is kind of, you know, admirable. You know, like, cool. These people hurt kids, and they hurt,
as, like,
you know,
it's the same as killing Nazis. You aren't going to argue with killing Nazis in the story. Just like you're not going to argue with killing child abusers.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And when he, like, punches this dude's face into a fucking pink or, like, a crimson mist and brain matter, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And he he rips one dude's arm off, and then, like, one guy finally stabs him. But that's not enough, and he rips him in half.
Yeah.
And that's when the priestess is like, he's got the healing now. He has all but one of the gifts, and she says, his rage shall grow beyond all control. Blessed be the rage of the fist.
Mm.
And then we see Maria looking at the bullet holes on her skin, and then she gets the flashback of the gun, and she finally talks to the priestess. And that's where they kind of set up, like, she's, like, still being like, where are my children? Can I ever leave here? What's going on? And the priestess is like, you need to go back. So the priestess keeps talking to her and then gasses her to knock her out and be like, take her back to the bed.
Yeah.
She needs to rest. Because, again, the priestess knows I need to keep her alive and I need to keep her kind of sedated so I can keep...
Yeah, I can't have her walking around asking questions and shit.
So Ares is breathing down Frank's neck. The guards the dogs are leading him, but he's talking about how all the other dogs killed themselves.
Yeah.
So there was only one left, and he's like, yo, you're going to lead me. And he goes, if you think there's a release in the app... This is, again, what I love about the idea of the god aspect of this, being like, oh, they're already being tortured in the depths of Hades right now. So, like, your afterlife's going to suck, too. I'll make sure of that, because my uncle kind of runs the world. So then we have a flashback of Maria hearing Frank in the middle of the night. She grabs the gun he gave her. And she asks what's going wrong, and he said, I thought I heard something. And he goes, go back to bed. She says, no, not without you. She said, I need a husband. I need a father. I need you to be present. You know, can you do those things? He says, I don't know, but I want to try. And they kind of have a tender moment, make out on the couch, and then we get a cool shot where it pans in the last panel and it shows the hand were outside. That's what he heard. And again, it's just the idea of them playing with the idea of, oh, the priestess and the hand have always been following Frank. I think what I love about this fucking book is what I've always loved about it is it's cheesy and over the top in all the right ways for a Punisher. For me, like reading this, and someone who's not a huge Punisher guy, but like when he's fucking rallying his person, he takes those hand ninjas that had their families killed, makes them his personal guard, and says, she will be punished, and I promise you'll see your families again. Yeah. And then he leads him, and he says, you have served the hand, now it's time to serve me. Call me the High Slayer, the Fist of the Beast. I don't give a damn. I just need you to know, will you stand with me? And they all say, God bless the Punisher. It's just, like, that kind of shit is why I love comic books and why I love this story of just, like, it's so crazy of, like, how well the artwork in the present that Zaiz is doing and the artwork of the past that Azakita is doing. Yeah. And how well Aaron is telling that story of just this idea of reconstructing this, keeping things canon, but also reconstructing this character.
Well, you know, and
it's such an interesting character study.
Well, I've talked about it so many times, and we're getting closer and closer. You know, we're on issue 8, which after this week, there's only...
Because it's 12. So, yeah, next week will be...
There's only 4
9,
more
10,
issues
11,
after
12.
this. You know, this is where we're getting more and more into Maria's point of view. And what we're learning is that we've already learned that their relationship is based on a lie. They fell in love based on a lie, and of this other kid that was friends with Frank. And we see her questioning, you know, what is she really doing? What is she really doing there? What was she in the relationship for? What exactly was it about Frank that she fell in love with? And who has he become? And she's starting to question that. And you know, Frank needs her to not question that. And in the grand scheme of a lot of things these days, there are a lot of men who don't want to be questioned about, you know, who they are and whatnot, and their spouses and whatnot are,
but at the
being led to question, and it's a microcosm, and it's a microscope turned onto our own society that, you know a lot of people, right? That have dark fucking secrets. And there's a lot of people that will stand by those people even when they know those secrets. Maria doesn't know all of Frank's secrets yet, but so far she stood with him, knowing that he was a Vietnam veteran who suffered from PTSD. But she doesn't know the half of it. And we're gonna get to a point soon where she's gonna find out. This where she has that tender moment with him is just really important because of the fact that they had tender moments. That's important to the story. It wasn't
all bad.
No. It's important to the story that yes, there were moments that caused the two of them to fall in love. He truly did love her. She truly did love him. Yeah, I mean the part, I think last issue or a couple issues back where she comes home and she's terrified and she finds that they've all been sleeping in the tent. Like, that's really tender. That's a really touching moment.
But then you also have moments where he takes the dagger of the beast and says, recast this into bullets.
Right.
I'm like, this is why this book is so fucking good, dude. Because it balances all that weight and emotion and depth you probably wouldn't expect to Frank in a Punisher book, and then having this insane moment where
we're just over the top dumb fuckery.
An epic build to this fight with Ares. Like, by the end of this, you want to see these two fucking rip each other apart. Because he shows the priestess praying to the beast. It says, "Be with him, O beast, guide his blade, guide his bullets." As he's fucking loading a red branded gun.
It's red. The gun is red.
It is red. And its bullets are from that fucking dagger. And he's loading it and cocking it as Ares is approaching. Ares smashes the head of the final
he's like,
dog.
that'll do.
Yeah, good job. And he shows up, and it's this big thing where he has, like, sound the trumpet, apostles, let the heathens know the god of war has come. And, like, just, again, the build, the epicness of it, where he's like, well, even before that, he's like, Punisher, behold the tidings of great joy, being like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
But then he gets blown up, and Frank says, gods don't win wars, bullets do. And he's got red bracers now, his logo's red, his eyes are glowing red, and he's got that red gun. I'm like, it shouldn't be as fucking cool as it looks. Yeah. But it does. And again, that's the beauty of this series and the beauty of what Aaron and Azakita and Zayas have done with just how perfectly it balances the really serious, sad, like dramatic elements, but also the fucking dumb fuckery cool shit. And that's why I love comic books, That's why I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be, obviously, next issue will be, as you can tell,
number 9.
Yeah. Wow, good job. But next I can count from 1 to 10. Number 9 is going to be, as you can probably guess. Is that your fucking table again? Making those noises?
You're just hearing shit, man.
What?
You're just hearing shit. You're just hearing shit. All right.
Number 9 is going to be, obviously, the battle between Ares and Punisher, so we look forward to that next week. Next week.
All right, next book.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.